Hello, Sound Seekers. Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Andrew Schultz from Redefining Records, and I have an incredible piece of content for you today. It's an interview with D.C.R. Pollock, a singer-songwriter from Costa Mesa who makes really cool music that blends a bunch of different elements: R&B, alternative, indie, Americana, folk, just a whole bunch of really cool stuff. But what he's really good at is writing really unique, thoughtful, and poetic lyrics. He's really all about the singer-songwriter stuff. So, David's a super cool guy, and we ended up hanging out for several hours after this was recorded, and I think you'll really enjoy hearing some of the things he has to say in this episode. Even though he is that guy who used to wear suspenders in high school, so that's okay. We talked about jank rigs, blind goldfish, the Orange County music scene, SpongeBob, Christian music, and A Beautiful Lie by 30 Seconds to Mars, and also David's obsession with Tom Waits. We also went over our Spotify Wrapped for 2019, and it was really fun. I think it's a cool conversation. I think you'll enjoy it. Before the interview, we're going to listen to the song Hank Williams. But before that, one last thing. I'm really excited to announce that we have our first real sponsor here on Sound for Thought, and that's a big deal for me. I'm sure many podcasters say this, but I never want to promote a product that I don't actually support. So I reached out to these guys myself, and they were super cool. They gave me a promo code just for the Sound Seekers. If you're like me, and you go to lots of shows and play super loud music all the time, you're probably going deaf. Personally, I know my ears are slowly being destroyed every day, and so I found this super cool company called Eargasm Earplugs. They're from Ventura, which is cool for me. I went to UC Santa Barbara, which is right next door, and they make high-fidelity earplugs. They're super comfy, and they let you enjoy music without hurting yourself, which is something we should all avoid. You can use the promo code SFT10 to get 10% off all full-priced items on their website. It makes a great last-minute Christmas gift for anybody who's a musician or who loves to go to concerts. And so, go check it out, or, you can just ignore this too. I won't be offended, they won't be offended. Now, let's listen to the song Hank Williams.
Kid, you made it. What could be more goddamn patriotic? If you forget your name, it's for your own sake. It never did treat you well anyway. You know just how to pick 'em, she was just a jewel. She was faithful, give it, take an attitude. If you forget her name, it's for your own sake. She never did treat you well anyway. And I like that strain on that old high. She looked like Donna Reed, it all from the side. She said, if I had the chance to do it over again, after meeting you, I think that I would end. Empty and cheap like a Tennessee dive.
All right.
Yeah, no, Aspian 120, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you said you were recording a friend last week. Is that something you do often?
Yeah. What was I doing? Who was I recording? Oh, no. So I have a pretty jank rig hooked up out of my garage.
I love jank rigs.
Yeah, I like them doing it too. But me and a buddy are doing a split EP, and we were just laying down the basics of it. So basically, I primarily do like vocals and guitar at my spot, and I'll take it elsewhere to do anything else, just because anything else just would not sound good in there.
Yeah.
Unless you want just the most lo-fi. It's like beyond lo-fi at that point, though. It's just like mic up to a vinyl.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all about lo-fi. But I get you.
It's nice to have the option to not do lo-fi though.
Yes, if you can. Yeah. Basically, everything I've ever done has been very lo-fi.
Yeah.
As in this room we're sitting in right now, basically.
Yeah, I guess. Is there a difference between? Yeah, there's a difference between DIY and lo-fi, but they're pretty hand in hand.
Yeah, it's just the levels of DIY. It's like the beginning level.
Just like the more DIY it gets, the more you cut the high end.
I feel like maybe the distinction is whether you record other people in your spot. Like, if it's a pretty good setup and you're pretty good at it, you could record other people.
Yeah.
But like if it's only you, then it's pretty lo-fi usually.
Yeah, all right, I'll take it.
I don't know.
We just set the standard. We just made the pamphlet. I'm into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm spitballing. We'll see. So last week was Black Friday, Cyber Monday.
Yeah.
Do you partake?
Not really. I'm pretty sure there's a strike this Black Friday or Cyber Monday, right? There's a kind of an online strike.
Oh, I didn't hear about it.
Yeah. Oh, what, you were goddamn fascist? Is that?
You got me.
No, I think at least anything that I would shop on was pretty much blocked. So I know Amazon was on strike, and then a couple other people. So not this year, but I was never really in a family that did Black Friday. So
yeah,
like the only thing I really know about Black Friday is like what exits I can't take.
Yeah,
like, just because I live right next to a mall.
Oh yeah.
So that's the only thing I really have to think about.
Yeah. Do you have any pets?
No, I don't know why. I just thought this. I had a buddy. I just had this conversation with a buddy, and they told me. It just had a flashback to this goldfish story I heard, but
by all means.
By all means.
I need to hear this
Yeah,
story.
I had a buddy who like the same thing is like, take this off, it's fun. He was straight up just like, I had a goldfish back in the day. This is context, he immediately just asked me this question. He's like, yeah, dude, I had this goldfish who lived like 4 years.
That's too long.
That's too long. It gets even better. He's like, yeah, this goldfish, like they want to like at a fair, like fully like this thing is expected to die in the car right now. Yes. Vibe. But he shows up. All right, he brings it home. Like first week, this thing jumps out of the fish tank, and eyes literally pop out of its head. So they have a goldfish with no eyes, and it lived for like 3 goddamn years after.
Wait.
That. Like straight up,
his eyes came out of his body.
So this thing jumped out of the bowl and like fell on, like apparently it was on a counter or something. It fell on the table or on the floor, and eyes literally came out of its head. So now, sorry, that's like now anytime anyone asks me if I have pets, I just immediately think about this dude. It was blind goldfish that lived for like 3 years. It gets even better though, where he was like, dude, you think this thing would die from like literally anything related to having your eyes popped out. The way it died is that their mom was cooking, and they kept the fishbowl too close to the stove, and the thing straight up boiled alive. Oh. Anyways, let's start the podcast.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Let's end there.
Yeah, let's end there. I'm out. But
that's brutal.
Yeah. All I'd say too is like the last pet I also had was a fish, so this isn't just a non sequitur, I swear.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, enough of the formalities.
you know everything you need to know about me.
I figured out. Yeah, I got the gist there. So we'll talk about music, just a little bit. So it seems like from the small amount of research I did on you that you're pretty invested in kind of the local scene, Orange County, Costa Mesa. Have you ever thought about leaving, or like what draws you to stay here if not?
Yeah. It's always, it's a funny question. Like at first, I don't know to ruin the romanticism of it. I saw the question beforehand, and
Oh, you killed it.
I know I killed
Now
it.
they know.
I know now they know the master puppetry. He called me and he's just like asked me that question 30 times in a row.
Go for it.
No, but the first time, I don't know why the question like kind of didn't register really when I saw it. Only because I don't know. Part of me's like, well, I live here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like part of like just like initially, it's
No,
just like
I get you.
it's like, well, I'm invested in it because this is where I'm at, and like I guess that's I don't know. That's kind of how I go about things. Like it's like I don't know. Like if I'm there, I might as well like be invested and dive in as much as I can. You know.
Yeah.
I'll throw that on the floor.
That is kind of an answer. Like your lack of answer, I feel the vibe you're giving though.
Yeah, no, it's like I would hope anyone is trying to get invested in the music scene where they're at.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's like the big answer of like why am I so invested? It's like, well, this is the proximity and I want to be here.
Yeah.
The other question, why don't I leave? There's more of a better question. I don't know. I'm not like diehard Costa Mesas for life like this. I'm just gonna live in the DIY scene forever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought about it. I have like a lot of people that live in LA. Got a good community out there.
Yeah.
Like if I want to like uproot and go there, I'm sure I could have a good community. But I don't know. I got a good job out here. I don't know.
Hey, that's enough.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be anything more than that.
Yeah.
I was just the same as you. I have some friends who just moved to LA and thought that would work better for pursuing music for whatever reason.
It's a funny thing. Like, I have a lot of friends that I'm always just like, yo, they're like, I want to make it. I was like, okay, well, you should probably like put in some work. Like, no, dude, just OC they just don't get it. And part of it's just like, well, what makes you think that you're going to put, like, if you're not putting the effort here, what makes you think you're going to somehow whip up the courage to put in the effort there? Like, what makes you think that things are going to be better there, or that, like, somehow you're going to get, like, this willpower and, like, establish yourself as an artist, like, when you're not willing to do that where you're at? So it's like, I don't know, at the very least, like, work up your chops to learn how, like, it's essentially you're learning how to organize, right? You're learning how to develop relationships. And like if you're just going to lock yourself in a closet all day, you're going to lock yourself in a closet all day in LA. There's no reason for anyone to think otherwise. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. There's like this weird bitterness that I have towards people that are just like, dude, just man, fuck the OC scene, man. They just don't get it. And you're just like, dude, grow up.
Yeah. Like the location is really what's holding you back.
It's like, like there's dope bands out here. There's a good music scene. There's people who have made it, who come from OC. Yeah. But there's no easy way. Like there's no shortcut to like making it in music. It's not. The city isn't the thing. Like it's you. Like at the end of the day, if you're not making it here, like I mean, there is a cap. I get that, right? Like if you get to a certain point, like you will find yourself in LA more often.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you gotta play more shows. And
you
bigger venues.
Yeah, you want to branch out of your city, but like. I don't know. There's like this old story. It's like this dude who moved to another city. You know, he's pulling in town. There's a dude saying like the welcome here sign. And dude rolls in. He's like, "Oh, hey, I'm new in town. What's this city like?" And he's like, "Oh, what's the city like back at home?" He's like, "Oh man, it sucked super bad. I really hate it." He's like, "Oh, well, this city probably sucks and you're really going to hate it here too." Yeah. And the next dude rolls into town and says, "Oh, what's the city like?" He's like, "Oh, man, he's like, "Oh, what's your last city like?" He's like, "Oh, it's super good. I loved it. I have a lot of good friends. I'm just moving out here." He's like, "Awesome. You're going to love the city. You're going to make a lot of good friends out here." It's just the idea of like, you're going to take that shit with you. I don't know. Like, your location's not going to change that.
Yeah. That's a really good little anecdote. I've never heard that before.
I keep dropping these goddamn
You're such a klutz.
I know. I'm falling apart.
Well, I like it.
Yeah. I
appreciate you being here.
I like it.
Like here, like in Orange County. And also here in this room.
Well, I like it too.
So I am curious about your musical experience growing up. I ask everybody this a little bit because I just like to know the path a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a musical household?
Yeah. My dad was like a vocalist and guitar player, songwriter thing. He spent a lot of his like 20s, sorry, I keep burping, doing music for USO, which is like the military base music.
Gotcha.
Stuff. Yeah, so that's his early roots. And my grandpa was a symphony conductor for a sister school to Ohio State.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it, but that's the way that they always described it. Makes it seem more prestigious.
Yeah.
It was a glorified community college.
Sure.
It's still cool.
Very impressive.
It's still like a gnarly gig. Better than I'm doing.
I have conducted no symphony.
So community college or otherwise. But yeah, so it's pretty musical roots. I don't know if it goes anything farther past that. At one point or another, all my brothers played an instrument. I have 3 brothers.
3.
Yeah, just get that out there. I had 3 brothers, and the only people that really stuck it out were me and my older brother John. But we were always just around music. We were like privileged enough to be put into a more arts-directed, like elementary grade school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So and it was called Grace Christian in Cyprus.
Okay.
But they were very centered on the arts. Like they put a lot of effort into that. So like you had required art classes, required music lessons, and other than like my home, like the hearing like my dad play music, my first real exposure to like being put into music was at this school, where I actually started off on clarinet.
Oh.
Out of anything.
Fancy.
Yeah. If you're wondering, yeah, Squidward had everything to do with it.
Oh. Did it actually?
Yeah, like actually.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, at that point,
cool.
you're like, what drives your major decisions? Whatever's on Nick.
I know so many people who were like impacted largely by SpongeBob, but never have I heard in that way.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I sucked at it. I sucked at clarinet so much, and I hate... There's something about wind instruments. The process of getting to a point where it's listenable is ruthless.
Yeah, I don't even...
It sounds like dying animals, like all day.
Yeah.
So I just hated listening to the clarinet, especially because I couldn't play it. Mm-hmm. My family hated listening to the clarinet because I couldn't play it.
Your neighbors hated it.
Yeah, exactly. So it like turned into a cycle where I eventually just dropped the clarinet. But I picked up guitar at that school, went through like kind of lessons there, and everyone and their mom plays guitar, so there's always like someone like always willing to throw me like some notes or pointers or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of the roots of it.
What kind of like style of music were you listening to in those days?
Like grade school era. So I grew up in a pretty like conservative home. It wasn't a lot we had access to.
Sure.
So it was primarily like, if not just like contemporary Christian worship music, it was some variant degree of that. Yeah, that's pretty much the earliest roots there. I mean, it was just some god awful stuff. I'll be blunt. It was terrible. Yeah, but I had some friends who they were cool enough that they would send me. We didn't have sending abilities. A Club Penguin chat. I don't know. They would give me. So I had a buddy who burnt me a copy of A Beautiful Lie by 30 Seconds to Mars.
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember, like, that was the year that came out, right? And I remember I lost my goddamn mind. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, I had nothing like that before, like lyrical content, like, right? Like, or just like, Jared Leto has that like high register scream. And I had no idea you could do that. So I was like losing my mind over that.
Yes. I remember relating to that energy.
Yeah.
The scream.
Yeah, dude. It's like the first time you walked into like a Tilly's and you're like, what's going on? No, like that. So it was very formative years. I mean, it was primarily just like Christian music, being honest. There's some, I mean, they're not all god awful. Like there's some talented dudes in that scene, but nothing really stuck.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, that's about the earliest stuff. Other than that, it was like a lot of a lot of like church music, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
So going off of your past experience and your musical experiences growing up, I was curious about the question of if you remember the first time, or maybe it's just the first couple times where you like wrote a song or maybe a part of a song.
I don't know about the first time. I can remember the first time I put pen to paper though. Like the first time I was like, I'm gonna keep these lyrics, baby.
Okay, let's hear that then.
I mean, nothing too special. I remember it was sad as shit. That's all I remember. I was dude, fresh out of Beautiful Lie, right into songwriting.
Yeah.
No, I remember because I mean, again, growing up in the church, you learn a bunch of those songs. I remember sitting there being like, there's no way you have to come up with a new progression every time you write a song that no one else has ever used.
Yeah.
So I started just taking the chords from these songs I knew. And if anyone knows, if anyone was musically inclined, it was just like a basic like 6-4-1-5 progression, like which was like kind of a joke now that because everyone and their damn mom uses that. And I remember I just wrote something really too depressing for a kid at that age to write.
What age was that?
I don't know, maybe like 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. I was maybe 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
What age is that? I don't know what age that is.
Yeah, that's 11 or 12.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think like
11 or 12.
14 is like freshman year usually. So like,
yeah, I was always a grade a little bit older.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was about 11 or 12.
That's okay. I feel like people like underestimate like a certain amount of sadness that a child can have. Not to make you sound depressed or anything, but it's the idea that you couldn't write sad lyrics is not.
Yeah, no, I fully understand that. I was for sure leaning into it a little bit.
Well, that's I mean, you were going off your influences there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, it's either like some sad, like majestic choral music or Jared Leto just screaming in my ear. I'm into it.
Yeah, there's angst. Got to get the angst out.
Yeah,
that's like the
fresh growing bod, just spewing angst, baby.
It's just like just no understanding of anything that's going on.
Yeah,
and I need to express that.
No, I mean that is a funny thing about writing like so young. Is sometimes you like look back at the lyrics and you'll be like, "Oh, kid, I know what you were trying to say.
Yeah,
better luck next time." But I see what you're trying to get at. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that was the first time you put pen to paper, kind of.
Yeah.
When did it get real?
Whoa.
Or take that
no,
as you will.
Yeah. I think it was around 7th or 8th grade. So shortly after that. So again, I have like a pretty jank rig that I've always just kind of had lying around, and I'm gonna say freshman year. It was freshman year of high school. So I remember it was after the first real breakup I ever had. Oh yeah, and I went full to town, dude.
Funny how that's like kind of a sweet thought now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, dude, do you remember that? Good times, baby. Yeah. Remember that breakup? Good time.
Good times.
Yeah, no, I remember I just discovered James Blake.
Oh, that's early compared to me. More recently.
Oh, really? Yeah, no,
like a year ago.
I had some like really cool friends that were doing the deep diving for me.
My friends just fucking sucked.
Yeah, you hear that?
Not listen to any James Blake.
Yeah, no, because I remember
cool.
James Blake was just kind of getting on the scene at that time, and who else was it? There was a couple other people. All I have to say is auto-tune was really big as like a cool thing. It was like just became like really hip.
Yeah.
To like use auto-tune and like a very like inappropriate context for it essentially.
Of course. Yeah.
So I made like maybe 13 songs and every one of them was in full auto-tune. I'm talking T-Pain to the max. Is
there an appropriate time to use auto-tune?
Absolutely. If you don't actually auto-tune my voice for like half of this podcast, I will be disappointed.
That's a lot of pressure.
No, I like auto-tune. I just overused it, so I can't like really use it for a while. But I'm gonna make my way back around to it. I like it.
Hey, I'd like to hear it. Bring it back.
It's I probably shouldn't tell anyone this. Don't listen to it on SoundCloud, but it's totally still on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's it called?
If you just look at D.C.R. Pollock, it's probably just, if you just keep scrolling, it's probably the earliest stuff. That's the only place you can find that stuff.
Deep cuts.
Deep cuts, baby.
Go and get it. Go and find it.
Go and find it.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, so I would say about that time was when I don't know about like being, because in my mind there's like, I made a switch to be like a singer-songwriter at some point.
Okay.
And I was like writing songs before that. So like I didn't really care about content really, or like lyrics or anything like that.
Okay.
For, I don't know, until like after I graduated high school, honestly. So I was like writing a song. No, I take that back. I think the first full length I did, I cared about the lyrics a little bit. But yeah, I did like 2 or 3 EPs before like really establishing like a D.C.R. thing. Before I was like, doing shows or anything with it. Because I was just like kind of an online, like, hey, if you're interested.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started writing songs about, freshman year.
Yeah.
All that to say, full roundabout.
So you kind of suggested there was a transition from something to being a singer-songwriter. What would you consider yourself before?
I would consider myself just like a musician at that time, because I fully anticipated just like being a guitar player or like a session player.
Okay.
For like, for most of like, for sure all throughout high school. Like I was like, this is what I'm doing. Like anyone asked me like, what are you doing when you graduate? I'm like, I'm going on the road, baby. Like that's what I'm doing.
Hired gun.
Yeah, hired gun. I thought hired gun was the dream job, and then I met everyone else. And you meet anyone who does hired gun stuff, they're like,
it's the worst.
yeah, they hate it. I don't know. I hate's a strong word.
Well, I don't know. There was like a documentary about. I don't know if you ever saw it.
The Wrecking Crew.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I just totally jumped the gun there.
You might be right. I don't remember the name. It was about hired guns. So.
Yeah. No. I mean. I was obsessed with that documentary in high school. It's like the session players in LA at the time. I was fully expecting to just do music. Like I was like studying composition and theory and everything. I was like
in high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was like, I'm going to do composition work. I was like, dude, film, baby. I'm going to get into film, hired gun, yada. I want to just music, like just the music aspect of things. I never considered myself like a lyricist. I never considered myself a vocalist or like a songwriter, right? It was more like, yo, someone throw me some lyrics. I'll put some dope strings on it or something.
Nice.
So I kind of thought that even into like doing like my first, like I have a self-titled record that I dropped in high school. And even at that time, I was just like, let's do some cool music. I'll like throw some sad-ass lyrics over it or something.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't until, I think it was after I graduated. Actually, I did end up being a hired gun for a band, so I did end up doing the touring thing for a hot minute.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it was the second I stopped having the luxury time to like study composition, and anytime I like sat down to play music, I was kind of exhausted, and I was like, I just want to like write a song right now.
Yeah.
So it might be laziness or just like I don't know what it was. There's a handful of things that led to it, but essentially I got busy, and then the times where I was doing music, it was either playing for someone else, learning someone else's parts, or like my own stuff.
Yeah. So
like the idea of like chopping away and like learning composition and stuff kind of fell between the cracks. And like just put it bluntly, and I realized I always loved like reading. I always loved literature and stuff. So I always like had a keen ear for lyrics. Mm-hmm. And after a time when I would sit down to like write a record, I stopped. Somehow, I don't know, just the transition was slow, but like I stopped caring. I started caring less about like the arrangements and more about the lyrical content and even the melodies. Mm-hmm. Until I woke up one day, I was just like, I'm a way better lyricist than I am like a musician or like someone who like works in composition. Yeah. And I just like it sucked at first, where I was like, damn it, like I let this stuff fall through the cracks. Like I could like I thought I was a pretty damn good guitar player for like how young I was. Like I was like doing things, like I was like kind of chopping away for a minute.
Yeah.
And then, like, when I graduated high school, it kind of all fell through the cracks. And I was like, shit. And I realized I was like, well, my lyrics are only getting better. So I kind of just made the switch. I was like, you know what? I'll just play to my strengths. I have so many friends who are way better guitar players than me or way better musicians than me at that. We'll just jump on this, write songs, like, then do what they're good at. I'll do what I'm good at.
So it sounds like, I mean, sort of come from, like, meeting a lot of other guitar players who you thought were better than you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what triggered it?
Yeah. Yeah. Mainly, I had a buddy at the time, or I was a cocky son of a bitch too. Where I was like, dude, I'm so good, man. I'm gonna tear this thing up. And then I had a buddy roll through, and this dude just swept the floor with me. I was so like, because at the time, even like in my immediate community, like people were hiring me and stuff. I was like, yeah, this is tight, man. I'm bringing it in. And this dude, who we met through my oldest brother, who has nothing to do with music, at least at this time. He was just like, I'm out. I'm not doing it. He's like, one of his homeschool buddies rolls through. He's like, oh, I play too, dude. And everyone's like, yo, David, you out. I was like, at the time I was like, understandably. I get that.
I get that. But also, like, isn't there always somebody better? Mm-hmm. I mean, even from...
This was embarrassing bery Let me just put the context in.
Okay.
Like, this is like to a degree of like, maybe you should work better. It's like, nah, dude, take it. I'm going to work on something else.
For sure.
No, but there is the aspect of that. Like, I was always taught, surround yourself with people who are more talented than you.
Yeah,
and
I like that.
It'll
make you better.
Push you. Like, it's kind of a terrible cycle because you always feel like you suck when you're around people who are better than you.
Yeah.
And that sucks when you feel that way.
Yeah.
But it's good for your art. It's good for your work. I think it was also why I kind of leaned towards the lyrics thing too, because I was like, you know, if I work on songwriting, like, I don't know a lot of songwriters right now. I could probably like take that niche in the market. Maybe it's all an ego thing. Maybe I became a songwriter because I have a really fragile ego.
I mean, I feel like every musician has some ego issues, of course. But I also like what you said right before that about like seeing the open space in the market. I mean, that's kind of like a metaphor, but but it is like with myself, for instance, I remember that's why I started playing bass. So that's why a lot of bass players play bass. It's like, we're learning guitar. Friends wanted to start a band. Yeah. Somebody else was better at guitar.
Yeah, and you're like,
I'll start playing bass.
Yeah, exactly. And it's one of those things too where like everyone wants to have their friends involved in something, right? They want to be a part of a show or like an event, yada yada. They would like help with a record or something. But it sucks when all your friends do the same thing. So you're like, I can't have everyone on this record, but it's like the second you have one friend, it's like, hey, I'm learning piano. It's like, dude, tell with it. Like, get on the record. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So like I found I was playing more shows as a songwriter than I was just as a guitar player.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I like this. Like, let's do this. I kind of just spiraled into those things. And like, I like read more than I listen to music in my free time. And it kind of just made sense making that transition. Yeah. Where I was like, I like lyrics more than arrangement. Although I love music, right? It's not like it's not like that, but I don't know. It made sense at the time for me to just be like, I'll be a songwriter.
Yeah, and you should always pretty much do the things that you enjoy more.
Yeah, like stop trying to force yourself.
Simply, yeah,
because I remember, it's like a very similar thing. Because it's even like the way I like decided I was like I'm gonna do music. Cause I know every musician kind of has that like, is this what I want to do? But I remember I was in high school and I like, I don't know if I like academia. I like learning. I like things like that. I like new shit being thrown at me. At least in the subjects I like. Yeah. So when I was in high school, I was like, you know what? I can see myself going through like higher education. I can see myself like enjoying to do that. But I was always like, I know I can't like prioritize music if I do that. Or at least I wouldn't want to, right? Yeah. It's like that seemed like unneeded stress on me. Yeah. And it was my senior year. I remember it was around like finals, like the last leg of finals. And I remember I was sitting in the studio recording something when I should have been studying for finals. And I was like, I think I made my choice. Yeah. I think I just decided what I actually enjoy. So
very telling.
Yeah, it might bite me in the ass later, but right now, that's what.
I mean,
we'll see what happens.
That's what you're doing right now, so.
Yeah, I'm just where I'm at.
Yeah,
I'm just where I'm at.
Exactly.
Full circle.
Yeah. Nice. So, you've written quite a few songs now.
Yeah.
Since you started.
Yeah.
Which one would you say is your favorite?
Oof.
This is a hard question.
Yeah, it's a kind of a hard
but
question.
I really like hearing the answer. You could say a couple too.
Yeah, I'll subdivide it. Like,
Yeah.
my favorite to play. Oh man, that's way harder. I keep saying I think lyrically the best. I'll put it like that. The one that I'm like most proud of, like, if you're just gonna sit down and read lyrics, Bloomin' off Young Bucks, the record I most recently released. They kind of get muddled. They kind of get lost in the actual recording. Like, I get that. Like, as a song, it's probably not the best song, but like lyrically, I think that's the most proud I've ever been. I've been like, yo, check this.
That's the one that you show people.
I don't know. See, this is where it gets funny. I don't know if that's one I show. Yeah, it depends. Like, if someone's coming to me like as a songwriter, or if they're coming to me as like an artist. It's like because I divide. It's like there's lyrics, there's music, there's all these things. Like, if someone's like, yo, best lyrics, I'm like, Bloomin'. I think that's the best lyrics. Or Hank Williams. There's between those two, I think those are like some of the better lyrics I've ever written. Musically, I think Hank Williams is also in there. I think Hank Williams overall is just like is something I'm really proud of, even if it doesn't come across as like a marketable song, which I also realize like there's not a chorus on it.
Yeah,
like all that stuff. But like, part of me is like I'm still like super proud of like everything that's on there to a point where like I don't even care. Like it's not like super marketable. Yeah, I think that but like actual musically, Arcadia City Limits off of my most recent record, I think is like the most proud I've ever been on. Like, yo, I did that.
Yeah.
Because there's like this thing I played with, where I kind of ripped off some what was it, Phil Spector arrangements from like I was listening to a lot of Dean Martin at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just super influenced by that. It kind of ripped some of them, so I don't know.
Who is not?
Exactly.
Something.
So I kind of took like a crooner-esque song structure.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, I was really into it. It's something I didn't really do. But what I ended up doing was playing with this trick where I always loved key changes. I never really played with them, but I was like, I'm so bored with like full step or like half step key changes or like something like that. And I remember hearing one of my buddies talking about, I forgot what brought up, there's a name for it. But essentially you take the harmony, you make it the main melody, but you don't, like, you can't catch it until like a certain note. And I ended up doing that on Arcadia City Limit where I think I go up a third on the song, but it's just the harmony is the main melody, but you can't tell until like the main drop that it's a key change. And that's something I'm really proud of.
That's cool.
Yeah, where I was like, the hell with it. Like, I just totally flew the song on its head, but you can't really tell. And it's kind of cool. Like, it just it feels like the song just got raised, but you're not sure why. Yeah. And I'm proud of that.
Yeah, no, that's a cool feeling that you've kind of created for the listener.
Yeah, and also my brother John, he did a lot of the arrangements on it, and he just slayed that song. Some of the best bass and like rhythm work I've ever heard in my entire life.
Nice.
Yeah, he just killed it.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a least favorite? The one that you're frustrated with still, even though it's released?
Honest, I'll be completely honest. The self-titled debut, like the earliest thing you can find on Spotify.
Yeah.
I hate that record.
The whole thing?
I hate the whole damn thing. There's some redeemable parts. I think Los Angeles, like the last song on the record, I think is dope.
Yeah, I spun it a couple times. I didn't hate it.
Thanks, appreciate that. Appreciate that.
I mean, I don't have any helpful notes or anything.
No, tell me what to change. I'll go back right now. No, but I've intended on a lot of occasions to just take it down. But
don't do it.
I've talked to some people where they're like, "Yo, that's like my favorite stuff." And I'm like, well, one, go to hell. Two, it's like I have to. The thing that sucks about being an artist, which was also cool, you have to learn to deal with regret.
Yeah, imperfection.
Imperfection. Yeah. You're always putting yourself out there for not only criticism, but you like you will hate stuff you've released,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to learn to deal with that. So it's like a very much a character building thing.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there's some serious character development going on anytime I listen to that. It's just the most cringe shit I've ever heard in my life. That's just how I feel about it. It's just super preachy. There's like a spoken word track on there where I'm pretty sure I sound like someone stepping on my tail the whole time. It kills me. It kills me.
I mean, you're not alone in that feeling. I mean, I know
everyone hates
every
it, David.
artist.
I talk to everyone. They hate your record too. Like,
No. Yep, exactly what I meant. No, literally, we were just talking to Aiden Danzy, my good friend, and he does music under the Judd Zinkel Project, his artist name, and he literally took off a song of his off Spotify that was my favorite of like his songs. I was like, this is literally my favorite.
Yeah, so now I sneak
now
into
it's
his room
off.
every night and I make him play it for me.
Exactly. But it's the same thing with so many artists and musicians that I talk to.
Yeah.
It's like, you're never done, and you're always going to be slightly unhappy with basically anything you do.
Yeah, in life in general.
And
there's
that-
always going to be a little
God.
miserable.
Yeah, I don't want to think about it too much. That's too true. But
Yeah.
I think it's important to, like, I mean, a lot of people will say this, but it's just like you put it out there and you move on to the next thing. And, like, the things that you didn't like about the last thing, you can improve on the next one.
Well, it's stuff you didn't like about yourself, essentially, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
you grew. Like, you have grown as a person.
Yep.
And the artist has the great blessing of being able to listen back, or has publicly put out like their thoughts from like 6 or 7 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like my ideologies of when I was like 16 are now on the internet, and now like you're just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I thought that way. I was 16. Cut me some slack.
What are some of the things that you're regretting? I'm curious.
On that record, the way I talked about people, like, to put it bluntly, like I like name drop people in those songs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was just like, think about it now, like, yo, that's not cool. Like, it's I've learned to rediscover it. Like, name dropping for the sake of story development or the sake of like in like goodwill, right? Name dropping someone's just like, and like my friend Ryan was singing, yada yada. Like putting that in a song, like Tom Waits does that almost better than anyone I know, and I love it. It puts you more into the story, or whatever he's trying to say. But there's nothing worse than someone name dropping in order to harm them.
Okay.
And like I know a lot of people don't pick up on it, but you know they do. Like that's one of those things. It's like you know they do, and it's like one of those things where I'm like I've gone back and apologized to like a lot of people. Like half of my development as an artist is apologizing to people, and I'm trying to set up a different trajectory than that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
That's it. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, we're here.
We're here. Yeah.
We're here, and like I'm on good terms with anyone I talked about on that record. But it's out there. Like it's straight up out there, man.
That's okay.
No one else knows.
I mean, yeah.
When you're in high school, everyone knows, but no one knows now.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's emotional at that time, and things happen, and you make up or you move on, and
yeah.
If you've made up and moved on, then they probably are fine with it now.
Yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be something, right? And what's terrible is you get a stigma. Like anytime a record comes out to you, they're like, "Who's this about?" And you're like, "Shut!" Like, your mom. I don't know. What do you want me to say? It's about me. It's about me. Like at the end of the day, it's always about me.
I mean, what is songwriting if it's not about yourself? You know.
Yeah. It's all autobiographical in some way.
Yeah, even like the most altruistic message is like from your perspective.
Yeah, exactly. It's an ideology. That's why, like, I don't know. I'm learning how to write. Like every day, like I'm learning how to, like, literally, like, how to go about it. Because when you're in high school, you're like, this is a journal, and like, yeah, it's cool at the time. Some people latch onto that, yada yada. But now I'm coming to the point. It's like, I don't know if it's a journal. It's like You're always learning, what is it I'm doing?
Yeah.
Like, am I, like, just trying to get this, is this getting off my chest? Or am I trying to, like, convey something? Am I, actually, the new record is, like, a lot about this. Like, who am I trying to convince, like, of what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, somewhere is it me? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of different for everyone, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, like, the part of the being a songwriter, essentially, is you... At least it should. Every song you write is directing that in some way, right? Where you feel more of it, like you feel more confident in your writing, because you know what you're getting at, you know what you're doing. At least you want to.
You hope.
Yeah, you want to know what you're doing.
You aspire.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, what's the point? Why are you doing any of this?
All right, I'm leaving. You're right. I don't know. Dude, I have no idea.
I mean, a lot of people end up saying something along the lines of they don't know how not to do it, how not to make music. Like,
no, I mean, yeah, I guess there's a part of that. It depends. It's different with every day, right? Where you're like, today I do music because I need to get this off my chest. I guess that's part of it. Or today I do music because it's fun. Or like I like to do shows. Or like I like the idea of just creating or bringing people together. I think it's different every day. But I don't know. I can see myself doing other things than music. My identity's not in D.C.R. Pollock. Like when I think of myself, I don't think of myself as like I'm a musician. Like it's as weird as it is. Like I don't like really think of myself in that way, which is funny because most people I interact with do. And it's like being a musician's. It's weird, at least for me, because like I don't. Like I listen to music, of course. Like I listen to a lot of music, but it's like I don't listen to as much music as like any of my other friends do that don't even do music. And I'm like, that's like weird. Is it maybe because like I'm doing music or like I write and try to make a habit of like writing every day. And, like I'm always like submerging myself in music of some way, or I'm always like it's like we're recording. So I'm always surrounded by music or I'm at a show. So it's like weird when in my own free time. I don't really go to music. Yeah. And it's like funny, like a lot of my friends get super frustrated. Like a mutual friend, Spencer, like he
called out
Spence. No, but he like it's kind of a gag between us because I don't know shit about anything. Yeah. Like especially because the music, he's like, dude, you listen to this record? I was like, dude, no.
He knows a lot.
He does know a lot.
Even when we did the podcast, he threw a few things at me where I was like, I don't know it, but I'll check it out.
See, Spencer is one of those dudes who like he knows music. Like music is his life. It's his free time. It's like one of those things where I think to himself, like I think proudly he calls himself a musician, which like makes sense. Like that's what you do. So it's like I started coming to terms with that. I call myself a songwriter. Yeah, because it makes the most sense to me. Where I'm like I like lyrics and melodies and like very basic things at this point. Yeah, I love that, and I kind of only listen to artists that do that now. It's not like a preference thing. Not like you're an idiot if you don't. It's like no, it's just like that's what I'm drawn to. Yeah, that's what I find myself doing. Music feels like studying at this point. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it can. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm at that point where it's just like anytime I sit down with music, very rarely is it I just want to relax and listen to music. Like it's like if I want to relax, I usually like watching a movie or something. So yeah, music's a weird thing to me. Yeah, where it's like it is pretty much my whole life, but it doesn't feel like it. Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting idea. I like thinking about it as well, of kind of consuming content as a creator of content is always like a weird balance because like you said, when you write music or you make films or whatever you do, it's like so much of your time has to be spent creating. And so when you have time to like not be creating, you're trying to consume something that will like benefit your creations almost, I feel like. And there's only so much time in the day. And it's like the people who really know everything are consuming all the time. And it's like hard to keep up almost.
Yeah, it's like almost like, dude, I have a goddamn job. Like I don't have time to like. That's not a jab at Spencer. Spencer
No,
also
it's
has
not.
Spencer also has a full-time job. Like,
Exactly. I mean,
but it's
everybody's...
like you have to prioritize it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And like I have a lot of good friends who prioritize music, and I realized I prioritize my music, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's like an asshole thing to say, but it's
No,
like
I mean, I think that's what most creators do.
yeah, or like I latch on to artists really heavily. Like I think that's what I was getting back originally. Like my friends get really frustrated because they're like, dude, you do music all day, but you only listen to Tom Waits for the last 8 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I like him. I like him. I'm sorry. Yeah, like it's hard. It's almost hard at this point to branch out beyond that. Mm-hmm. And I don't even. It might be an insecurity thing. It might be like I need my comfort blanket of like the music I know.
Maybe.
But also, like when it comes to the artists I choose to latch onto, have so much to them. It feels like I can't exhaust them. Like I'm on 2 years now of like doing deep dives into Tom Waits, and I feel like I barely scratched the surface.
I mean, he's got a whole lifetime.
The
to share with you.
like that dude has how many records? Like
I don't even know.
it's unbelievable, and each era is so distinct. And he's like he's one next level songwriter. At least him and his wife put together. But so I've been on that train, and all my buddies are like sending me recommendations, and they'll be like, dude, you gotta check out this record. And I feel so bad when they're like, dude, you listen to that record? I'm like, no. No, I listened to the same Tom Waits ballad playlist on Spotify for like a month. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I feel you. It's hard to balance.
You learn, I think half of like growing up is learning like what to offend people by. You're just like, I'm willing for you to get bothered that I didn't listen to your Spotify recommendation. Like I chose not to prioritize making you feel comfortable about that.
Yeah. You have to make some tough decisions at some point.
It's who are you letting down?
You gotta let somebody down at some point. There's too many things.
Too many things, and I'm too important.
Exactly. And it's, I mean, I always talk about how it's impacted by the internet, of course, too. Is just like access is insane at this point.
Yeah.
Like, nobody used to have to know so many things. It used to be
everyone
just
had
like whatever physical records you had. Now it's like you can listen to everything.
Yeah, you just had all these dads like, oh, my dad's a Toto dad. What's your dad into? It's like, oh, my dad's a Bruce Springsteen dad.
Yeah, it was like one thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to bring that back. 2020 back into like you have one artist you identify with.
I like it.
Tom Waits. I'm picking it now. Only one. Only one person can have one artist.
All right. I'd have to be LCD Sound System.
Oh, going in. All right.
I looked through my Spotify Wrap today.
Oh.
Like everyone else. Did you look at it?
Yeah, let's go through it. What you got?
Oh, God. I mean, that was my Artist of the Decade.
Artist of the Decade. Okay, we'll start there.
My Artist of the Year was Deer Hunter.
Okay. I haven't really done a deep dive into it. But highly recommended?
That's so you. That's so you to not...
You asshole.
To not know what I'm talking about.
Where's Spencer? Because someone get Spencer on the line. Who's Deer Hunter?
We can call him. What about? Well, yeah, I think this year my top 5 were like Deer Hunter. I think Toro y Moyo was in there.
Okay.
I think Foles.
Okay, no, I like Foles. I have listened to them because someone gave me a cassette once. And
cassette?
I didn't have an aux in my car for a long time.
I like how having physical copies does
it's like hey,
push
I'm special.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm special. I have
Yeah, it kind of like makes it more special. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. What about you? What did you find out?
Mine's almost. It's not totally embarrassing. So obviously, I'm on 2 years running of Tom Waits. I'm proud of that. I'll wear that badge. I don't have any Tom Waits tattoos yet.
Not yet.
But I would flash them.
Next time, when you come back for your second run on this podcast, I expect a Tom Waits tat on your face.
On my face. Tom Waits' face on my face.
Yeah.
Like, dude, how'd you get so hot? So, yeah, number 1 was Tom Waits for this year and last year. Decade. Yeah, I'm consistent. That's just proving my last point of like I need to go move on. Decade was Bright Eyes. Yeah, big Bright Eyes fan.
See, I don't know who that is.
Do you not?
No.
Connor Oberst?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've heard Connor Oberst before.
Yeah.
But that's somebody I haven't dug into.
That's another deep dive.
I'm going to have to take that dive. I think I did an episode with Max Goldenstein Collier from The Haunts.
Okay.
And he mentioned Connor Oberst as well. And so that's at least 2 or 3 people I've mentioned.
Connor Oberst, especially, like, that was one of the first artists I dove into by myself. Not like found by myself. I had a good friend introduce me.
Yeah.
But I remember that was one of the first artists that stuck with me. So I remember, I mean, he has so much incredible work.
Yeah.
But I think he also, like, he's part of the reason I decided I was like, I want to get into songwriting. Like, I didn't know you could write songs like this. I would love to, like, I want to do this. I didn't know you could do this with songwriting.
Yeah.
I mean, just growing up in the house I did, like, we didn't listen to a lot of, like, lyrically rich songs, right? It was just,
I
like,
understand. Yeah.
Like, all the lyrics were just so horrible. Like, just to put it bluntly. Mm-hmm. So, like, when the first time... I mean, I listened to Bride Edgar, I listened to Bob Dylan, like, right? Like, this is, like, the world that... He's, like, introduced me to that world of, like, songwriters.
Yeah.
I mean, I got fucking Bright Eyes tattoos at this point. Like,
do you actually?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
I got Poison Oak tattooed on my elbow right here.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see some space there for Tom Waits.
Yeah, this is Tom Waits. I know. I'm running out of space.
Oh, wait, no, there's not that
Yeah,
much
I know. I'm running out.
The sleeve came up and it was more covered.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I'm a big fan. But that was the decade. But, like, honestly, I discovered it in this decade, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Man, 10 years. Damn.
It's trippy.
Yeah, so that was of the decade, which I was fully expecting that. I mean, Bright Eyes. What? I
just like that about the Spotify Wrapped. Everyone was sharing it. Everyone who I saw shared it on, like, their Instagram story and stuff. We're like, "Yup."
Yeah. Well, yeah, we know what we're into. We know what we're getting ourselves into.
So me.
But what got tricky was everything after the first one.
Oh, okay.
Like, where me,
well, that's interesting.
One of the things that stuck with me from growing up in a Christian home, the only artist that followed me through was Sleeping at Last.
Okay.
It's just very sweet, wholesome music.
Sure.
I love that man with all my passion. But it was a little embarrassing to see that came in number 2 of the year.
For this year?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was like, wow, I didn't realize I listened to that
much.
Yeah, it's a little funny.
There's definitely some, like, I mean, I grew up Catholic.
Yeah. And
so I've listened to my fair share of Christian music.
Yeah.
I definitely went through, like, a phase of, like, Switchfoot.
Dude, you know what's funny? And
they're pretty good.
No, dude, I mean, I still love Switchfoot.
Yeah.
Like, my little brother is, like, he reps them so hard. It's funny. He's way less involved in Christianity than I am. And he still reps them way harder than I know anyone else does. But it's funny because I was just talking to a coworker and she was raised Catholic as well.
Yeah.
And same conversation. Yeah. Where I was like, yeah, this wholesome Christian artist is like, was it Switchfoot? I was like, damn, you don't want Protestants, Catholics together?
Brings
Switchfoot.
Freaking Switchfoot.
Yeah, no, I still like them. I used to think John Foreman was like the game-changing songwriter.
Yeah.
Back then, he's still really damn good, but
yeah, I haven't kept up as much to the recent stuff, but
yeah, his solo career, he has those like seasonal EPs that are actually phenomenal. If you're gonna do any dive back into, he has I think it came out like mid. Like it was like 2007 or something. That still holds up pretty well. But yeah, other than that, so it was Tom Waits, Sleeping at Last. I think Connor Oberst solo, like as Connor Oberst. Then Randy Newman came in.
Oh,
yeah,
that's fun.
I was pretty stoked on that.
Yeah,
I didn't think I listened to him that much, but I dove into his debut album. I played on repeat for a couple weeks straight. So good.
Yeah,
so good.
I like that. That's some good variety. Yeah, it's like a healthy variety.
It's top 5, right? I only mentioned
top 5. Yeah, I'm like trying to look at mine. I'm like, what was else? I think I had Innerwave on mine.
I don't know who that is.
See, we're a slightly different taste, but it's all my stuff is very like indie electronica kind of.
Oh no!
But Innerwave, I think they're a LA band. They played the Observatory a few months ago. I went and saw them, and it was a cool show, and I binged a little bit.
That's sick.
So they're cool.
I'm into that.
What else you got?
As any good white dude that grew up in his 20s during the 10s, I have Bon Iver coming in at 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I
with
love
you.
him. We'll always be there. It's one of those things you forget that you're pretty much a Justin Vernon worshiper. Like, it's kind of like almost implants something in the back of your head where you're like, no, of course I love Justin Vernon. And it, like, you hear me like, oh no, I love this man.
Yeah.
I love this man.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I never like consider Bon Iver like one of my favorite bands. It's like I know when someone asks like, "Yo, dude, who you love?"
Yeah.
Bon Iver doesn't really come up, but anytime someone mentions, I'm like, "Oh, of course."
Yeah, that's that reminds me of like I feel the same way because I remember going to like Coachella a few years ago, and tons of good acts. I forgot which year it was, but Bon Iver was there, and I remember coming back and being like, "Yeah, Bon Iver might have been the best show."
Dude, Bon Iver is one of the best shows I've ever gone to.
And I was like surprised. I was like, I don't know why I'm surprised.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of slipped. I think it's because it was hip to be an asshole at that time, so you hated that everyone loved the music you loved. At least I did.
That's definitely a vibe, yeah.
Yeah, that was the culture I grew up in. So when everyone started liking Bon Iver, I was like, oh yeah, no, dude, I like Bon Iver. It's like, but you know, there's other people. I listen to them like, holy shit.
It's too good.
Justin Vernon, we're going to take a Justin Vernon detour real quick. All right.
I'm on board.
Justin Vernon almost single-handedly took a generation of Guitar Hero, Guns N' Roses fans into the hippest world on earth. All right, like I've met multiple people that before Bon Iver like hit the scene, we were all like thought Journey was writing like the most relevant music. Okay, like I
like these takes.
Yeah, well, dude. That dude opened. I might be speaking just strictly on my community, but callers call in and verify. All right, because literally, I was part of that Guitar Hero generation. Of course, I wasn't allowed to play it, but all my friends were playing.
You never played guitar?
No, dude, my parents didn't let me touch that. Didn't let me touch that.
That's okay. It was only like a year of fun.
Yeah,
it was really hard for like a year, and then it kind of faded.
Yeah, it jumped pretty hard because I remember like I was in like. I was still in elementary school, like early elementary school, and that dropped. Mm-hmm. And I remember that like classic rock had its like comeback, right?
Oh yeah.
So all my friends were like, "Yo, dude, you ever heard "Sweet Child of Mine"? I was like, "Holy shit!" So I, for like a hair of time, was like, classic rock is all there is. Yeah. Right? Like I didn't know anything about it. I only heard like 3 songs because we didn't have streaming. We clearly didn't have the record. So I was like occasionally on YouTube "Sweet Child of Mine." Yeah. And I'd be like, I love classic rock.
Yeah.
I think my dad was into Rush. So we had a Rush CD. And we were all like, dude, this is it. And I remember out of all the people, my oldest brother's a character because he is nothing like the rest of the family. Like he's kind of like this like a stocky sports guy.
Okay.
And out of all the people in my family, he came home and he's like, "Hey, you ever heard of Bon Iver?" Or we call it Bon Iver. He's like, "Yo, you ever heard of Bon Iver?" I was like, "Dude, no." And he showed me Woods, which is just like 5 minutes of auto-tune choral music. Yeah. And I remember just being like, "What in the actual hell?" What is this? And that was like the first real nosedive into at least like as the brothers, we all kind of had like a musical taste of our own that our parents didn't develop.
That's cool.
Like right, like that was the first thing we listened to. Our parents didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Or at least didn't introduce to us. So
that's
like
fun, yeah.
For me, like Justin Vernon will always play like a really vital role in my musical upbringing, even if even if he doesn't play like a huge influence on me these days, like I will still always sit there and be like, he probably still does. It's probably just so subconscious at this point.
Yeah.
He set a precedent that like I think we're all trying to follow. Yeah. He set a hit trend. Everything he's doing, like you find, is like hitting the markets like 4 years later.
Yeah, that's true. I like the idea of like subconscious influence on songwriting.
Yeah, well, no, absolutely. I mean,
because it's very real. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening to him at like a development time, right? Like Mumford & Sons, Fleet Foxes, all those dudes like kind of dropped at the same time, and that was like my summer between 6th and 7th grade. Mm-hmm. Like I'm dating myself right now. I'm a young dude. But I remember, like, I lost my mind because I was like, when you're kind of coming into your own skin, I was like, this is the skin I'm coming out to. Yeah. If you're wondering, yeah, I totally wore suspenders to school. Oh. Because that was a hip thing to do.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I approve.
No, you shouldn't. You should be up.
I mean, I wore uniforms to school.
Same. That's the problem.
Oh, wait. You were allowed to wear suspenders?
Dude, hear me out. All right. This is how cringe I was. I'd wear them underneath my shirt. Oh. And then the second, like, break or something rolled around, pull them out.
Wow.
Yeah, I was that dude.
Next level.
I was that dude. Yeah, I wrote music at the time. It's still online.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like sit on that for a second. Yeah. Just picturing.
Dude, I was like easily 50 pounds lighter. Like straight up.
You don't really have 50 pounds to lose.
That's what I'm saying, dog. I didn't have facial hair. I guess I kind of had facial hair. I was always clean shaven. I had the thick rim glasses.
Okay.
I did it, dude. I did it. I had the fade up to here. I was that dude.
Hey, that's okay.
I got best dressed in high school, though.
Hell yeah.
Hear me out.
Hey, no, I'm not hating on any of it. I like it. Good for you.
I'm like wearing a trash bag at this point. So like high school me is just like, hey, dude, step it up. I'm like, hey, step off.
You look like shit. Well, on that note,
yeah,
let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Well, there's like a few questions I like to ask at the end that are kind of quick.
Yeah.
Who's your biggest fan?
My brothers.
Your brothers.
My brothers. Yeah. That's okay. It.
And what's your favorite beer?
My favorite beer? Dude, honestly, I don't drink a lot of beer.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Yeah, I don't drink a lot of beer.
Wine? Cocktail?
I like a good cocktail.
Soda.
I'm trying to come back at this point.
Coffee.
Love coffee. I mean, I work in coffee, love coffee. I'll put it like this. Modelo, gin, what have we got in batch brew? Answer down the line.
What was the last one?
What have we got in batch brew? Was it's just like a coffee, like when they just got like the pot in the back that you squeeze out. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I don't got time for that.
All right.
I work in coffee. I can't deal with it.
This is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
This is what I'm looking for. Favorite concert you've been to as a fan?
As a fan, D'Angelo. Nice. Yeah. His Black Messiah tour.
Yeah.
Unreal. Some of my favorite musicians I've ever seen in my whole goddamn life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where was that at?
Where was that? Somewhere in LA. I don't remember.
There's a million.
Yeah, there's all
somewhere.
It's like the one. It's the one right by the Staples Center. It's like in the same parking lot.
Ecoplex? Is that?
Yeah, Ecoplex.
Ecoplex.
Yeah, that was it.
I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Well, where can people find you, follow you, and such?
Instagram, D.C.R. Pollock. Twitter, also D.C.R. Pollock. Basically, if you just type in D.C.R. Pollock on any social media, I should show up as that. I'm on most all streaming sites. Spotify is the only issue where you have to put in the periods.
Yep, Spencer told me that. That was the first thing he said.
I know, I saw that. Full shout out, man. He wants people to actually listen to my music. Thanks, Spence.
It's very helpful. Good
Very
job.
helpful. I got 0 listens in, but thanks.
Not yet.
Not yet. Actually, I think if you just type in D.C.R. Pollock, Pollock spelled, you can read the title, I guess.
Oh, yeah. It'll be, if you're listening to this, it'll be, just look at your phone or whatever you're listening to right now.
Hey, stupid. Look at your phone.
Look down.
Look down. If you type in, I think just the Christmas EP shows up.
Yeah.
But what you can do is you click on that Christmas EP, go to the little bubbles on the top, go to View Artist. You can do that. Or you can put in the periods D period, C period, R period, Pollock. That'll also be in there.
You can do it. I believe in you, listener. It's not too hard.
So far, you've been a real disappointment, but I believe in you this moment.
It's been like you're not even here. I don't know.
Hey, stupid. Look down. Talk to me a little bit.
Lastly, do you have somebody else you could give a shout out to that could potentially be a future guest on the show?
I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Homage, Peter Kijiji. He does music under the name Homage.
Good guy.
Oh, do you know him?
No, I don't know.
I was like, oh damn, get him in. He's like, he's actually here.
We'll get him in. I'm gonna know him.
Yeah, you're gonna know him. He's the best. People on the come up. I'm trying to throw people that are also in the local area. That's
helpful.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I mean, I can do them on the phone too.
Yeah.
If need be, but.
But Homage, Homage, or he goes as PWGG. Who else we got? I know freaking everyone. Jordy Sands. Man, I'm gonna have so many people mad at me right now.
That's the whole point.
I'm
like, let me get David on here and make everyone mad on.
Yeah, who are you gonna disappoint? Holy hell. Mini trees. All things blue. Throw them. Oh, man. There's so many people. Jake Tittle. Sean Tittle. I don't know. I could just send you a whole list right now.
That's okay. Don't give me too many. I'm already behind.
I'm going to say, me and Pete have been rolling around a lot. So, yeah, throw him on there. You already got Spencer. He's the only other person that would wring my neck. So
that's good. Cover your bases.
Yeah, cover my bases. There's probably someone else. They can send me a nasty voicemail.
Well, I mean, if someone else wants to do it and didn't get called out,
no.
All right.
Don't talk to my friends.
Don't email me.
Don't talk to me. All right. Cool.
Don't worry. I won't try to be friends with you after this. It's over.
Honestly, we've had so many cutoffs where we've just been throwing hands at each other. I swear to God.
Yeah, we don't get along at all. All right.
Awesome.
That's pretty much it. Keep making cool shit.
You keep making cool shit.
We'll end with a high five. That's what we do.
Stop at midnight, a cold cup of coffee, a magazine in the booth. When I recognize one of the angels selling a coat on the last page or two. She would act at my town, work for minimum wage. She once told me she slept for an hour each day. Well, she got her dream. I woke up in a motel, now we're East New Mexico. I mean, that southern heat got me tossing my sheets, held my knees till the bathtub ran cold. Every damn night's like a pamphlet, a bullfight between where I can be and should. And if I shake like a bastard, it ain't 'cause the water, till I knock out like a McGregor hook. Drive to midnight, my brother's on the line. I don't think I'll be home in time. If that child goes right, I'll take you out on my dime. We'll drink the peninsula dry. Get your coat clean, tryna to show you damn crooked teeth. We both know you're guilty, just don't show it for the evening. He said I ain't looking sharp, but I'm just my type, and I'll take you up on that drink another time. That strain in your voice, I can hear when you're tired. I can hear you ain't spoke with Leanne in a while. Well, don't let her see I woke up at a motel in Texas, Arizona, I'm not sure. I mean, she gets to me like El Paso, he knocks me out like a McGregor. Knocks me out like nobody else.